Hi, and welcome to Thursday Night Classics right here on Facebook. Glad to have everybody with us. Brian Roth, voice of the Rams, be your host for this evening as we look back at one of the most iconic wins in the history of Colorado State Ram football. Now, to get a little perspective on the Arizona game and the 1994 season, you have to look back to the 1993 season. 93, first-year head coach Sonny Lubick led the Rams to a 5-6 record, but more importantly, Colorado State, they went undefeated the month of November and finished the 93 season at 3-0. Enter 1994, and the Rams had momentum. They returned a ton of firepower, and expectations were high. Rams did not disappoint. CSU opened the 94 season with a win at Air Force. A few weeks later, they won at nationally ranked BYU. And by the time October the 8th rolled around, Colorado State was a perfect 5-0 and ranked 23rd in the nation. Of course, the opponent was the Arizona Wildcats. They were the darlings of college football in 1994. They were on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and they were led by that vaunted defense nicknamed Desert Swarm. But when the two teams took the gridiron that night, it did not make a difference. We will watch a condensed version of the game here tonight, and coming up at halftime, I'll be joined by legendary head coach Sonny Lubick. So we look back at that first half, and he gives us an idea of what the halftime locker room was like. Then it's on to the second half, highlighted by Sean Moran. And following the game, I'll be rejoined by Coach Lubick as we get some of his final thoughts of the epic victory. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the 1994 game in Tucson, the Colorado State Rams and the Arizona Wildcats.
There's an old football adage that still applies. Defense wins championship. Colorado State believes it. They give up yards reluctantly. They lead the WAC in sacks and make life generally unpleasant for opposition offenses. Their D has led them to a top 25 ranking in college football. In Tucson at the University of Arizona, they also play a little D, and their defense has a name, Desert Swarm. They fly to the ball and arrive with menace on their minds. The last 2 years, they've been recognized as the best in the land. Two teams trying to stand atop their respective conferences. Two unbeaten. Defense wins championship. Arizona, Colorado State, next. Arizona Stadium, Tucson, Arizona. The 6th-ranked Wildcats getting set for number 23, the Colorado State Rams. And good evening, everybody. I'm Drew Goodman. The Wildcats were number 1 preseason, according to Sports Illustrated. They want to go to the Rose Bowl for the first time ever, and if all falls right, perhaps capture a national championship. The Rams are off to their best start since 1977. At 5-0, they want to find out just how good they are. Let me bring in my partner, Gil Bird, former San Diego Chargers standout defensive back. And Gil, all afternoon long, you've been using this word attitude.
Attitude is going to play an important part in this game, Drew. From Colorado's standpoint, the one thing that they can't do is have a defeatist attitude. They got to come in here confident. Conversely, Arizona, they can't come in here cocky because Colorado State is on a roll and ready for an upset.
Speaking of Colorado State, we've talked a lot about the offenses. Let's talk about the quarterbacks here. Anthony Hill can beat you two ways, with his arm and also with his legs.
Well, Anthony can. The one thing he's going to have to do is he's going to have to roll out the pocket a little bit more, and they add another dimension to Colorado's attack.
Danny White, familiar name on the other side for Arizona, is a transfer from Penn State. He's a big guy, and he has a good arm.
He has an outstanding arm, a cannon, as we say, for an arm. He's big. He has to use his assets tonight, which is his strength and his poise and his arm.
So it won't just be defense this evening. More than 57,000 in the house at 65-year-old Arizona Stadium, and it's the first time after October 1st that two unbeatens meet in this stadium. These teams used to play each other every season when Arizona was a member of the WAC, and the Wildcats had the better of the Rams back then. The last time CSU won, 1980, and that game was led by their quarterback, Steve Fairchild, who's now their quarterback coach at CSU. Van Ward and Chris Myers are back deep. The Rams, we talked to a couple of players during pregame. They've come down here not to make it respectable. They want to show up the Arizona Wildcats and beat them.
That's right, and they're confident. I'm going to tell you it's going to be a good ball game.
Here we go, Arizona and CSU in the direction of Myers from the 8. And he didn't get to the 20. So the strategy pays off. He's stopped at the 18-yard line by Kelly Malvo. Just a return of 10 yards. There is the senior quarterback, a 3-year starter, Anthony Hill. He's from the San Diego area, similar to Dan White, and he's coming off the best game of his career against New Mexico. He threw for 364 yards, 25 of 35, and also ran it for 30 yards. The Rams come up, twins to the top, single setback is E.J. Watson. In and out of the hands of Paul Turner at the 44-yard line. Great strike from Anthony Hill on first down. The Farmers Insurance Group starting lineup. The skill people, Watson very strong. Burkett had a great game last week. Paul Turner normally with sure hands. The big fellas up front, they are led by Pat Meyer, the weak tackle. He goes about 295. He is the best of the bunch. Brandon Evans is playing with a torn anterior cruciate. 2nd and 10 for CSU. E.J. Watson hit and stopped after a pickup of 2. It is very difficult to run against the Cats. They led the nation against the rush a year ago. Teddy Bruschi will call his name plenty. Akil Jackson, the defensive ends, they are stout up front in that even front. The linebackers are led by Sean Harris in the middle, Charlie Camp, Thomas Demps. And the secondary, perhaps the best safety tandem in all of college football, Brandon Sanders and Tony Bowie. 3rd down and 8. Initial possession of the ball game for CSU. They'll go out of the gun. Complete, first down, Eric Olson. 30-yard line. So Hill has been on target his first 2 passes. Hill brings it back down and now is dropped at the 25-yard line, and that'll get a roar from the crowd. Joe Salave, 6'4" and 270, a sophomore from American Samoa, got him. A loss of 6. It'll be 2nd and 16. Trips for 3 receivers to the top. Hill has a man complete. Jeremy Burkett out of bounds, shy of a first down, and he actually stepped out about 4 yards shy of the first down. Well-conceived play. Hill 2 of 3 in the early going. 3rd down and 4. Hill wants to run, nowhere to run. Chuck Osborne closed that down in a hurry. Was that a QB draw by design?
No, that was just pressure. It looked like it was just pressure on Anthony. He had to come down with the ball and just try to do something, try to create something. Good job of pressuring by the Wildcats.
But then they stall. Richard Dice is back deep. And it's a low-line drive punt. Dice will watch it take a CSU roll to the 23-yard line. And that is where it is downed by Colorado State. Back in Tucson, no score. Arizona will have the ball for the first time. Their quarterback, Dan White, completing 58% of his passes, the 2nd-rated quarterback to Steve Stenstrom in the Pac-10. First down, Carter, huge opening to the 43-yard line. He busts one for 20 before Greg Myers could topple him there. Here are the skill people. Antoine Carter, some say he's the 2nd best back in the Pac-10 to Napoleon Kaufman, who had a huge day today for the University of Washington. Dice is the best of the receivers, and up front they are a big and strong offensive line. Maniat gets the start for Hisham El Mashtub. He might play in the second half. He was suspended for fighting, which is something he does quite frequently, evidently, for Arizona. Oh, big hit in the backfield. Sean Moran closed down on Antoine Carter. And speaking of defense, here's the Rams even front. Moran and Smith have combined for 15 sacks. They have 26 as a team. The linebacking crew is led by Kenya Ragsdale in the middle. He has been in double figures every ball game this year in tackles. And the secondary is very good. In fact, Sonny Lubick, the head coach of CSU, who was the defensive coordinator for a couple of national championship teams at Miami, says this is the best secondary he has ever coached collectively. 2nd and 11. Carter on a delay. He's shifty, and he gets about 3 or 4. So now it's a 3rd down and 7. Is this a pass down for Arizona?
This is a pass down, and this is where Colorado State wants Arizona to be, 3rd and long.
Out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side. Wright's got time, and he's got a man, and the ball comes loose, but he was well short of a 1st down. Carter out of the backfield couldn't hang on, so Colorado State has played extraordinary defense this year in the wild and wacky Western Athletic Conference, and they turn away the Wildcats on their first possession.
Nice job by the Rams defense that time.
Matt Payton will punt. Greg Myers will go back. A single safety. Fair catch at the 18-yard line by Myers, a punt of 32 yards. Lubick said he was confident. He said he knew it would take an extraordinary effort to beat Arizona. He said, but our kids, being 5-0, felt that we could do that.
And they can do it. They just have to come in and execute like they've been taught.
Leonis Brown with the carry. He's the speedster. And he has a good gain up to the 29-yard line, very close to a 1st down. He gets another call, and a shorter gain here, about 3 out to the 32-yard line. Blitz coming, and the shuttle pass is eaten up, but flags flew.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, previous spot.
5-man front for Arizona. They want to put it up on 2nd and 2. They want a bunch. Olsen's out there, but the pass was out of bounds and behind him, and very good coverage by Mike Skurlock, the senior corner from Tucson. 8:45 to go, 1st quarter. 3rd down and 2 for CSU. Hill to throw for it, complete to Matt Phillips at the 46-yard line, fully extended. Good grab in front of Claudius Wright. E.J. Watson departs, nobody home in the CSU backfield. Hill over the head of Paul Turner, 2nd down and 10. The Arizona defense, last year statistically the best in the nation. And they have 7 men up on the line of scrimmage. E.J. Watson spun around and stopped after about a yard gain. Desert Swarm, and they got about 4 or 5 hats on the ball carrier there. This might sound unbelievable, folks. Last year, Arizona gave up against the rush 0.9 yards a carry. 3rd down and 9. Blitz coming. Hill in trouble. Throwing. He's got a man. Paul Turner at the 20. Inside the 10 to the 8-yard line, no flags. Tony Bowie saved the touchdown. Hill under pressure.
Outstanding job by Tony Hill, knowing that a blitz was coming and the offensive line of picking that blitz up. Now there was what we call a stunt going on up the middle. We see the defensive player there crossing, trying to cause confusion of the line blocking of Colorado State. It doesn't work. And anytime, like I told you, the receivers of Colorado State really feel that they can beat the defensive back. And it's just what we call a post route. Nothing special. It's just man-on-man, use your speed.
1st and goal inside the 10. Hill sprinting out down the middle, touchdown CSU. Justin Shull has made a library out of Arizona Stadium.
We knew the tight ends were going to play an important part in this game, and Coach Lay said that the receivers have got to have a big game tonight for Colorado State to be successful. You've seen exactly that on this drive. Nice play calling, nice execution by the Rams.
And Anthony Hill picking up right where he left off against New Mexico.
Now, we talked about earlier rolling out and add another dimension to Colorado's attack. Now, Anthony could have run or passed. He chose to pass.
David Napier to kick the extra points, got it through 7-0. Colorado State takes the lead with a most impressive drive on their second possession. 7:19 to go first quarter. 8 plays, 81 yards, and the Rams have the lead. David Napier to kick it off in the direction of Carey Taylor. He's got an opening. Trying to get to the corner. And he is swarmed under at the 37-yard line. Very good return. Justin Shull made the tackle, the guy who just caught the touchdown pass, his first of the year.
Here we have the rollout. Justin, first TD of the year. What's going on now in Colorado State's mind is that we can play. Now, we talked about in the opening, special teams. Colorado State has got to play at least even. They're not doing that right now. You can't afford, after a long drive, to have a return like you just saw.
Good field position now for Arizona. Their second possession. They had one first down and then had to punt. Carter tackled by Kareem Ingram after a pickup of about 2.5 yards. White brings it down and lost the football. It'll be an incomplete pass. So this is what Colorado State wanted, what Arizona did not want. 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. Pressure coming, White throws it incomplete, and Arizona will have to punt. So Matt Payton had a 33-yarder his first time, will punt to Greg Myers. Myers straight ahead and is belted at the 34-yard line, but hangs on. Chato Jackson down on special teams. There he is, number 47 for the Cats. 34-yard line for CSU. 2 receivers to the near side. Straight ahead, E.J. Watson gets about 4 or 5. 2nd down and 5, and Anthony Hill goes to the shotgun. Hill throwing, complete midfield. Eric Olson trying to stay in bounds and picked up about 6 or 7 more. This is very interesting. At the 41-yard line, a 1st and 10 for the Colorado State Rams, and Arizona has called a timeout, and their entire defense has gone to the sideline. You wonder what is going on in that huddle right now. 7-0 CSU. 7-0 Colorado State, the 23rd ranked team in the nation, leading number 6 Arizona on the road, and right now they're on the move at the Cats 41-yard line. With Gilbert, I'm Drew Goodman. Glad you're along on Prime Sports this evening. 1st and 10 for the Rams. And Hill throwing and incomplete, well covered. Claudius Wright was step for step with Paul Turner. 2nd and 10. Toss sweep. And Watson will get about a yard. And then Brandon Sanders, all 175 pounds of him, came up and stuffed him. He's a junior from San Diego. 3rd and 9. Interesting story. He was recruited by 2 Division I schools, Arizona and Colorado State. And now Anthony Hill looks the defense over, checked his pre-snap reads, and said, I'll call timeout. The Rams send one wide out, Paul Turner to the top on 3rd and 9. Pressure coming, Hill breaks containment. Throwing and incomplete. Claudius Wright broke on the football. McDougal has this go up the side of his foot and out of bounds, a terrible punt. 31-32, now the official marks it at about the, actually I'm looking at the wrong official. Carter behind Patterson. Carter gets the call, and Carter gets about a yard. And he lost the football. He did that 3 times against Georgia Tech. Or are they going to say he was down?
Home field advantage.
They're going to say he was down. They talked about winning first down. They have so far tonight. They did there. 2nd and 9. Carter making people miss, and then Greg Myers got him, and Carter still spun ahead for another couple of yards to set up a 3rd and short. Great individual effort by the senior from Granada, California. 3rd down and 2. Carter does it on his own and picks up the first down of the 41-yard line. Andre Strode, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Carter again bangs straight ahead, and that's what Arizona wanted to do. Win the battle of the line of scrimmage and put some people on their backs.
Right now they're doing that.
Gary Taylor has come in as the tailback. Didn't play against Oregon State last week. They didn't need him. Beavers lost 30-10 to the Cats. Tackled in the backfield, Sean Moran.
Sean Moran has done that time and time again for the Ram defense. He's a guy in crunch time that you want on the football field because he definitely wants to get things done. You see Moran, upper part of your screen here. He's going to come in. He's going to just beat his man one-on-one, and that's what you like to see. Defensive linemen, sometimes you just got to beat your man one-on-one. He doesn't go for that down block. He's there almost before the handoff is given.
So a loss of 2 or 3, and it's 3rd down and 8. White, 50-yard line, and maybe short of a first down is Richard Dice. They're bringing the big fellas in, and they will go for it on 4th and less than a yard. Taylor remains in the game. The fullback is 230-pound Jason Patterson. White tried to do it himself, and I don't know.
You have to have confidence in the defense that is called swarm. You have to have a lot of confidence in that.
They did
not make it.
CSU stops them on 4th down and has the ball at midfield. 1:26 to go in the first quarter. Colorado State leads 7-0, and they have extraordinary field position. Leonis Brown in the backfield with Renard Karn, number 40. Pressure. Hill runs away from it and couldn't get it to Eric Olson, who had separation about the 27-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Swing pass, Leonis Brown on the corner, gets a block, has a first down, 35-yard line. E.J. Watson is now the tailback. Hill throwing complete, Eric Olson. He's inside the 10 of the 6-yard line. Right now, Anthony Hill having his way against perhaps the best defense in the nation. Hill goes Watson. Watson powers his way to perhaps the 4-yard line. It is tough to run against the middle of the Wildcat defense. 2 receivers go to the top, 1 to the near side, 2nd and goal. Hill, quick throw, good break on the ball by Tony Bowie. The first quarter is history, and Colorado State has dominated on both sides of the ball. Right now, the 23rd ranked Rams leading the 6th ranked Wildcats in Tucson.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Previous spot. Still 3rd down.
One thing it does do for them, a little more room to operate.
I like that bright spot.
If you want to be an optimist.
That's right.
Colorado State leading 7-0. Trying to pick up a few more here on 3rd and goal at the 9. Drew Goodman Gilbert from Arizona Stadium in Tucson. end zone shot. Turner was bumped out of bounds, so it's incomplete. David Napier, 7 of 9 this year. This is a 26-yard attempt. Eric Prall's the holder. And Napier pulled it. He missed it. So the Rams come away empty after moving it down to the 4-yard line. Just the 3rd miss all season by Napier. And the lead still 7-0. On first down, Antoine Carter bottled up in the middle by 98, Kareem Ingram. Schmidtke straight ahead, and now the line moves people another couple of yards, which will set up a 3rd down and 3. And right now it's 3rd down and 3. Schmidtke, the true freshman, remains the ace back. Double tight. White, first down. Andre Strode wrapped him up and drove him back, but Richard Dice had the first down on the hitch route at the 31-yard line. Good throw, good catch by the sophomore from Northridge, California. Dice flanks out to the left again. Antoine Carter has come back in as the tailback. White has his tight end, Lamar Harris, to the 39-yard line, a pickup of 7, perhaps 8. Dwayne Aquino, the offensive coordinator for Arizona, says, we are so much further ahead offensively at this time this year as compared to a year ago. And last year, they were 10-2. Short gain. Stopped by Garrett Sand. Carter will probably be just shy of a first down. It's 3rd down and short. And they're taking a lot of time in the huddle, and the play didn't get in from the sideline, and Dan White calls a timeout. That is the 2nd burn by the University of Arizona, and we'll step away. 12:34 to go, 2nd quarter. Colorado State leading 7-0. 3rd and 1 here for Arizona, trailing 7-0 to Colorado State. And they go out of the shotgun. Pressure coming on White. Dice, does he hold it? The catch at the 36-yard line, and White was hammered as he let it go. Carter stumbles and falls ahead for a couple of yards. Call it a 2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8. Little waggle, White's going to run it, and he pays for it at the 29-yard line. A pickup of about 5 yards. Kareem Ingram stuck him.
Timeout. Colorado State.
So CSU calls a timeout. Sonny Lubick on the sideline. Mentioned he was the defensive coordinator for the University of Miami the last few years. Also the head coach at Montana, and had a good run up there.
This is a big drive, both offensively and defensively. Colorado State does not want to allow Arizona to get any momentum and to come up with some points. Conversely, Arizona, they know that they need to get something going. They need to get some points on the board to get some confidence, to regain some sort of assurance that, look, we are a Pac-10 school. We should be dominating this game.
Though the WAC is 5-2 this year against the Pac-10.
You never know what's going to happen every year, and that's why you play the game. Arizona has all these big-name players. What it boils down to is you don't have to have a name, a well-known name. You just have to have game. That means you have to play well on any given Saturday. That's why you have upsets.
3rd down and 4. They go on the ground to Taylor, and he is met and loses a yard, and it's Ballard. So McLaughlin, who has a really strong leg, will come in and try to kick a 47-yarder. He has 6 in his career beyond 50, so he has plenty of leg to get it there. Curious call on 3rd down and 4. Good snap, good hold, and the kick, plenty of leg and plenty good, but a flag came in. And if it is against Colorado State, it would be a first down. And you would have that interesting decision of, do you take points off the board?
Disregard the flag. There was no foul. The kick is good.
McLaughlin will kick it deep to either Chris Myers or Van Ward. Short kick. And a fair catch by one of the upbacks at the 18-yard line. And Brown is tripped up. So on 2nd and 9.5, he'll go out of the shotgun. He's been very accurate. Protection breaks down and Hill goes down. Jim Hoffman, his 3rd sack of the year. But it broke down. It's 3rd and a bunch. And Hill will call a timeout and go to the sideline. Here, you have to be very, very careful. So the crowd into it on 3rd down and 21 from the 8. 3 receivers to the top. And the crowd causes the Rams to jump. Jeremy Burkett started running his route. Simply, he can't hear. And the defensive linemen, you know, will pin their ears back here on 3rd and 25. Hill has it complete for a 1st down. Oh, man. In front of Brandon Sanders, Jeremy Burkett, the man who moved early, makes a circus catch. And they pick up a 1st down on 3rd and 25.
And how he moved once he got down the field. Jeremy, the 3rd receiver, and we have what we call here a trips formation. Trips, 3 wide receivers to one side. Jeremy just comes down the field, goes up, and he does what we call a crossing route, trying to run away from the defensive back, getting inside position. Nicely executed play.
Ball at the 36-yard line. E.J. Watson with some room, spinning, still going. Pick up a 7. 2nd and a couple. Watson's going to be about 1.5 yards shy. 97, Hoffman in the middle, 6'4" and 270. Had 7 sacks last year. Typical of many of these Arizona players, Hoffman wasn't widely recruited. 3rd down and 1.5 yards. Quick camp. And over the head of 83, Josh Quinn, who had 1st down yardage, and Hill lobbed it a little bit high, and he's angry with himself. Came into the game averaging close to 42, and this is a much better effort. Dice at the 14, trying to find a place to run, and he can't. Good coverage by the kick unit at the 16-yard line. So it's a punt of 41 and a return of 2. 7-3. Colorado State continuing to lead in Tucson. Arizona has the ball at the 17-yard line. Carter trying to find some room and does across the 20 to the 22-yard line. And on the scoreboard, they just lead by 4. They did miss a 27-yard field goal. Wonder if that will hurt them when all is said and done tonight. Carter met in the backfield. Big loss on the play. Kirk Bowman, a 260-pound sophomore from Glendora, California. 3rd down and 7 after the loss. So White will go to the shotgun, twins to the top. White's got time. White's got a man, 1st down, 35, 36-yard line. Lamar Lovett, fast. Ball's on the ground, White falls on it. I don't think he's too pleased right now either. Blitz coming, Carter making people miss, still going. Antoine Carter in the open field to the 42, and folks, he did that all
individual effort by an athlete who knows what it takes. Antoine Carter, he has vision.
25 yards and the ball at the 42-yard line of CSU. The late stages of the second quarter. White, play action. Wants Dice, and he overthrows him, and Andre Strode was right there with him. Rams show blitz on 2nd and 10. They back out of it. Carter's got big room. Carter's tackled after an advance of 12 by Greg Myers. First down inside the 30. 3:39 to go. Plenty of time in the first half. And that's wide of the mark. Blitz coming. They go draw. Carter gets about 3 yards. It looked like he'd get a lot more than that. Adrian Ross, a redshirt freshman, defensive end, made the play. Pressure coming, and White sacked by Adrian Ross, who's spelling Sean Moran.
That was a good job by Adrian to come in and to make that tackle. Had he not made that tackle, Dan had a little field in front of him, and I think he might have gotten that first down. But Colorado State's doing a good job of disguising their defenses. Dan White thinks he's going to see one thing when the ball snaps. He's seen another thing. That's causing some confusion and hesitation, and that's good.
McLaughlin is hit from 47. He'll be asked to poke this through from 45. Another good snap, good hold. Plenty of leg again, and plenty good. This kid has a strong leg. Steve McLaughlin, the senior from right here in Tucson, makes it a 1-point ball game. 7-6, CSU leading with 2:13 remaining in the first half. This will be Myers from the 4, trying to get to the wedge, and he's down at the 18-yard line. So 2:08 left. If you're Colorado State, you try to move it or try to just run out the clock.
You have to try to move. They moved it all night. Why stop now?
I think that theory makes sense. If you're going to upset the 6th-ranked team in the nation, you can't be conservative. Leonis Brown got about 4, maybe 5 to the 24. Teddy Bruschi. Here's a reverse to Burkett. Read well. Now Burkett gets to the corner, hurdling and still on his feet. He stays in bounds. Sanders kissed him out, and a flag at the 48-yard line.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense, 15-yard penalty.
Nicely executed play. Jeremy Burkett does an outstanding job of leaping over the defender. Now he steps out of bounds right there. He's coming upfield. Now I can't see why this is called.
CSU leads 7-6. Hill goes to work. He's got Eric Olson, who loses the football. And Arizona's got it at the 33. Tony Bowie made the hit that knocked the ball free.
You talk about coming up with big plays. Big players make big plays in crucial situations, and it doesn't matter if you catch the ball. What happens after the catch? Eric Olson looks a little shaken up right now. He took a tremendous hit right there. He's coming across the middle, and the defensive backs, the safeties of Arizona, are known as big hitters, and there you see why. A good job of Eric of keeping his composure and trying to fight to get that ball. Arizona comes up and makes a big play. First turnover of the night, and what a time to have it.
32-yard line, and now Dan White will go to the shotgun. Throws it underneath. And Carter's wrapped up after a short gain.
Now watch this hit. Eric is coming across the middle, post route. Now that's just hat on hat. You're taught as a defensive player to tackle, put your helmet on the ball. That's exactly what happened. The ball came out.
Arizona calls their last timeout. 57 seconds left. They have a 2nd down and 7 from the 35-yard line. Anthony Hill, however, remains on target. He's over 200 yards throwing the football, but now it's Dan White's turn. a flat. Carter runs it out of bounds, first down at the 44-yard line. Carter, so valuable. Here's Carter again. And he's run out of bounds right at the sticks. Crowd wanted a late hit. Carter's talking to Strode. And now the officials step in there and separate the two. Here's the delay. Schmidtke has about 10 or 11 to the 35, and they're already in range for McLaughlin. And the clock stops in college football on every first down. So the clock is stopped with 36 seconds left in the half. No timeouts, however, for Arizona. And they spike it, and that was not completely necessary unless White didn't have a play yet from the sideline, because the clock again was stopped. He was going to the prom. This year he's scoring touchdowns in Division I-A football. White down the middle, flags come in the backfield, Dice to the 19-yard line, and the flag came in the area of offensive holding.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty at the spot of the foul.
And that is huge because it negates a big gain, and it also puts them out of field goal range for the time being. So it's a huge penalty. It's second down and 36. White is sacked in the backfield. No, they say he gets it away. To the 45-yard line with 6 seconds left. This is how much Dick Tomey thinks of White. Of McLaughlin. Instead of trying the Colorado Hail Mary play, they're going to try a 62.5-yard field goal. Tom Dempsey, are you watching? Well, he's short to the right. It was a great effort. There's 1 tick left in the second quarter. CSU leading Arizona 7-6. This is the first ranked team Arizona's played this year. Colorado State knocked off nationally ranked BYU 28-21 on the road last month. And this is a real 3-deep secondary because Arizona has 3 guys back at the 20-yard line. Hill has it intercepted downfield. Got room still. Look out. He's finally tackled at the 46-yard line. It was Sean Harris, the all-Pac-10 middle linebacker, and right now he's going to have to stop and fuel up.
Yeah, because that was a nice job of returning the ball in that situation. Good half of football.
It was a good half of football, and the defenses, as expected, led the way, but the Rams trying to pull a major upset, up by 1 in Tucson.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. You're watching the 1994 Colorado State versus Arizona game. Rams nationally ranked, and of course, so were the Arizona Wildcats. Colorado State led 7-6 at halftime. Brian Roth, voice of the Rams, happy to be joined by the legendary coach from Colorado State, back from that 1994 team, of course, the one, the only Sonny Lubick. And Sonny, I want to ask you a little bit about that first half, but give me an idea of what the mindset was of your team going into that game. You guys were 5-0. You were nationally ranked, and of course, going up against a team that had opened up the season ranked number 1 in the nation.
Yeah, I think the mindset was good. The players' mindset was good. The coaches wasn't, because I read too many clippings of the other team all the time, and we got that game. There's a little story behind that game, and if I have time to tell you,
yes, of course.
We had a new athletic director at that time. He was the interim, David Ames, who was a Big 12 official still is right to the end. Very good. I think he was very high up in that School of Agriculture, and he was our interim AD, about my 4th or 5th one. But he came down the hall one time there as kind of early summertime, maybe about this time of the year, and we only had 11 games scheduled. I think that's when we went to 12. And he said, we got another game. And so my devious mind started thinking, we don't need another game. Let's just play 11. We don't need 12. And I said, I'm thinking they just need the money, and that's it. But anyway, I said, okay, we'll go ahead and get the other game, but make sure it's somebody we can beat. And he came back to me pretty damn rapidly. It was within a week. He comes back down the hall. I got you another game. And I said, good, who is it? He said, Arizona. And I wanted to choke him right there. We still laugh about that. I wanted to get some team that we could get off to a good start with. But anyway, that's how that game came about. And at that point in time, we didn't know how good or how bad. As you know, the history of CSU hasn't been one where you're looking to go in there and start off the season 5-0 and all, because that's probably very, very seldomly happened. But anyway, we won a few games, and coaching staff, of course, they're doing a great job. And the players, you could see the momentum in their eyes and the confidence building in them as we went along. But then this Arizona game comes up. We're going down there, and I always remember the night before the game. Well, it was Thursday night actually, before we're getting on the plane on Friday to fly down to Tucson, and looking at some of those players there, and I'm reading all these headlines about the Desert Swarm and how good they are, and Teddy Bruschi, and I think they had a safety that was all world, and they had all these All-Americans. I think, what the hell did we get into? But sitting in that meeting room that night and looking at them, you could see that they were listening, they were believing, and I confess this, that they believed a heck of a lot more than I did. Because I looked around, I could see John Pulaski. He was our center, and he wasn't over 6 feet tall, and probably 220 or 230. And looking at all our offensive linemen, they always sat in the front row there, and I could see these guys. And man, I'm thinking, how the hell are we going to make a first down against this guy? But I tried to convince them. I remember saying to them, and I think they bought into it, and kind of lied to myself. I said, there's not one person in this town, not one person in this country believes you guys can go down there and win. And I see Sean Moran twinkle in his eye, and Brady. Of course, Greg Myers was always the same all the time. And the mindset was probably a lot more confident and a lot better than I thought it was. And our coaches were good. We had Dave Lay and Larry, one offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, who were great and good with the team, and as was all the coaches. But there was a feeling, of course, I'd lie to you if I say, we're getting on that plane, I know we're going to go down here and win. No way. I just hope we come out there, be respectable, and not drop completely out of sight. But then told the players when we got down here on Friday that this could be one of the biggest things that's ever happened to CSU. Here we're playing a team who was ranked #1 Sports Illustrated when it came out in July or August, and we got in the game, and maybe I'm jumping ahead, but all of a sudden, after a couple series, those kids come off the sideline. They were feeling, that we can play with these guys.
Right. So what was the kind of the feeling at halftime? Because you guys are up 7-6, and you go and you score early in the game, and Anthony Hill was really good. Of course, it helps to have a 3-year starting senior quarterback going into that kind of environment. But you had a belief going into the game, but then you get to halftime and you have the lead. What was the feeling like in the locker room, if you can dig deep and try to remember that?
Right. Probably the feeling at that time was we can play with these guys, and I go in there, I told you guys so, but I didn't believe it. But yeah, I could see they were looking around and that. But then, the old coach, I've been coaching too damn long and reading too many books, and you read about Arizona and Michigan, the Desert Swarm, and all these things. What right do we have to go in there? We're not going to come down, go on the road, and beat a team like that. It's just not supposed to be in the cards. But I'm thinking, man, we played such a heck of a first half, and I could see the confidence, and you could see it in their faces. But they were such good kids, and they were smart because they knew they were in for a fight. But deep down, there was something in there that I guess the only way I can express is that they had that good feeling. But as the coach, watching too many games over 50 years, you see these guys go in for a big upset, teams come in, and always at the end, the more powerful team pulls it out. And I can't tell you how many games we've all watched where you're hoping, boy, this could be a great upset, but the other team pulls it out at the end. But at halftime, there was a good feeling, and I always had that. I guess maybe that's that little negativity. I mean, a little part of me said, geez, we'll probably play our hearts out for this thing, and then they'll do something miraculously at the end to pull it out. But right. we stayed true, and they couldn't do anything to us.
Yeah, I know all coaches kind of think like that. I know, Sonny, and it really probably doesn't matter the sport. All right, so the Rams up 7-6 at halftime on the road in Tucson against number 6 Arizona. We'll talk more with the head football coach at Colorado State at the time, the legendary Sonny Lubick, coming up following the game.
And Arizona will get the football to begin the second half. With Gilbert, I'm Drew Goodman. Arizona has relinquished only 10 points in the second half all year. They'll need to play that kind of football to knock off a game CSU team that came in as a 17-point underdog. This is Lovett, and he's trying to get to the corner and will not. Gobbled up at the 28-yard line by Prentice Davis. Antoine Carter, who had a big first half, is the tailback. Toss sweep. Carter, big opening. Carter tackled by Jackson, but a pickup of 14. Carter with 88 yards. Only one back has rushed for 100 yards against CSU in the last 15. This time Carter doesn't get much. Sean Moran in there, and Devon Hawkins, big number 74, who goes about 280. Arizona, which had been predominantly a running football team last year as Dan White learned the system, has had much greater balance this year. Rams show blitz. They come with it, a sack right up the gut. Garrett Sand picks up his 5th sack of the year, the 228-pound outside linebacker from University City High School in your hometown, San Diego.
Do the unexpected. Garrett Sand comes in, he blitzes, there's a hole open right there. The linemen do a good job of containing their men, the defensive linemen of holding their men and occupying the offensive linemen. Garrett Sand goes unobstructed right in the face of Dan White. Nice play.
And they lose 8 yards, so now it's 3rd and 15 for Arizona. And again, the Rams show blitz. They back out of it. Pressure coming on White. He's going to be sacked again by Sean Moran. 3rd sack of the night and the 29th on the season for CSU. And after a big run by Carter, similar to start the game, the Ram defense responds.
The Rams have responded when they needed to. Here you see just a good job of disguise. We talked about it over and over again, how Dan White is having trouble in holding onto the ball because he's seen one thing before the snap, a blitz, and he's in his mind, he's saying, this is where I'm going to go, causing problems for him.
Peyton averaging just 29 yards a punt. Gets a good punt off here. Greg Myers backed up to his 26. Trying to get to the wall. He won't. Stuffed at the 30 by about 5 Arizona Wildcats. So CSU will begin there. Sean Moran had the last sack for Colorado State, his 7th of the season. The Rams with 3 sacks in the ball game, and now they're on offense out at the 31-yard line. Anthony Hill, big first half in the air, 200 yards. The interception came on a Hail Mary last play of the half. E.J. Watson, the lone back. And E.J. Watson gets the call, and E.J. Watson spins into the secondary. Still going to the 39-yard line, a pickup of 8. He had 442 yards coming into the ball game. 3 receivers to the top on 2nd and 3. Naked bootleg, and Hill can run for the first down and will, out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. 1st and 10, 43-yard line. This is Leonis Brown, and he scrambles for about 5 yards. Brown stays in the backfield. Actually, this is Van Ward now. Van Ward into the secondary. Van Ward across the 40 to the 37. Chris Lopez and Tony Bowie made the tackle, but the Rams, running it straight ahead, have moved the football to the 37 of the Wildcats.
You know what excites me about Colorado State University and why they're 5-0 right now? That everybody on their team is contributing. It doesn't matter if you're a starter, if you're a backup, they're coming in and they're making plays, and that's what separates the good teams from the excellent teams.
Eric Olson is in the game, sore ribs and all, at a wide receiver. Good news for CSU. Pressure coming on Hill. Throwing to a wide open receiver. Show 5. Touchdown, Colorado State. How do you like that?
You have got to love the competitiveness of Anthony Hill. He's rolling out. Everybody's blocking. Everybody is contributing to what seems to be a momentum swing right now. Arizona has got to regroup because they can't allow Colorado State to get going. Here we see Anthony, just a play action to hold up the linebackers. He's buying time, buying time. Shaw does a good job of adjusting his route, finding that open seam, and that's what happens when a quarterback can run.
Scholl's 260 pounds. He's been in the end zone twice tonight. Here's the snap and the hold, and this time David Napier right down the middle. 14-6, a 37-yard hookup from Anthony Hill to sophomore Justin Shaw, and the Rams lead is 8 with 10:26 to go in the third.
Oh, we're going to have to watch this play one more time. Colorado State is performing extremely well. Brewski is putting pressure on Anthony Hill. Good block, and Anthony is just rolling out. But I'm going to tell you what, Arizona right now, they're playing undisciplined football. That's why you have big plays happening.
Short kickoff. This is Lovett, and he's gobbled again at the 31-yard line. So they keep it away from Taylor in the middle. Arizona needs to respond. Antoine Carter has a big opening. Kareem Ingram got him, but Carter got about 10. 2nd down and 1. Right up the gut, Carter. Greg Myers had him and lost him. And across midfield goes Antoine Carter. Kenya Ragsdale is not playing inside linebacker, middle linebacker for the Rams. The walk-on Carl Ballard is in there. They give to the fullback, and again about 5 yards. This is Jason Patterson, who gets to carry it about once every full moon. 8:52, clock moving, third quarter, 2nd down and 6. Carter behind Patterson, blitz coming. Carter tripped up, barely. 3rd down and a couple. Carter stopped short of a first down. He's about a yard shy. Garrett Sand was there, Kirk Bowman in there again. It'll be 4th down. And there's no question in the world that Dick Tomey will go for it. They're 0 for 1 tonight on 4th down.
Do you think, Drew, that they're going to try the quarterback sneak again?
Doubt it. Jason Patterson has jogged back on the field, the 230-pound fullback. I would say Patterson lead block, Carter behind him. And White calls a timeout. And you always try to remember those timeouts in the third quarter of a close football game. 4th down and 1. Here we go. Movement. White will get the first down the easy way.
Offside defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Was?
Still is.
Thank you.
White play action. Wants the home run. Knocked away by Ray Jackson. Great defensive play a week ago in Albuquerque. 2nd and 10. Carter, again a good opening. And he'll get about 4 yards to the 30-yard line before he stood up. Garrett Sand in there and Carl Ballard. Arizona's 4 of 11 on 3rd down. They need the 24-yard line. White will go out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. He goes out in the flat to Carter, one-on-one. Carter making people miss, first down to the 20. 6 catches, by the way, for Carter. Carter to the outside. Carter's got 9. This easily the best drive of the football game for Arizona. 180 total yards of offense for Antoine Carter. 2nd down and 1. Prentice Davis has come in and Vincent Booker in the secondary for the Rams. The Rams show blitz, they come with it. Lowe's football. Sean Moran has it. Sean Moran to the 40 is going to win the race. Oh my, what a play. Rams touchdown. You talk about a backbreaker. Sean Moran has scored for Colorado State. 77 yards.
We talked about turnovers. Colorado State didn't have a turnover in the first half. They come out in the second half in a drive where Arizona must score. They give the ball up. I'm going to tell you, Colorado State came to play. Fumble.
Garrett Sand knocked it free on the blitz. He timed it perfectly, and Moran, 260 pounds, running for his life.
He ran for his life, all right. That was nice. You have to feel good about the way Colorado State has raised their game this season.
Remember that play. How can you forget it? Extra point by Napier is good. Huge upset in the making in Tucson. 21-6, the Rams lead. However, there's a flag down on the extra point, and it is against Arizona, so the extra point stays on the board. CSU leads it 21-6 over unbeaten and 6th-ranked Arizona in Tucson.
Offside on the defense. The kick is good. The 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Arizona had their best march going of the game, and they turned it over, and Moran goes 77 yards.
Now let's look here at a perfectly executed blitz by the Rams defense. You see here the inside linebackers, Garrett Rand comes in, causes havoc in the offensive backfield of the Wildcats. Makes that fumble. Now Moran picks it up, and he has a lot of open field in front of him. But now, this is the one statement I have to make up to this point, is that if you hadn't told me that Colorado State was a 23rd ranked team and Arizona was a 6th ranked team, I would have told you that Colorado State is ranked 6. I like it. The Colorado State is ranked 6.
Right now they are. They're leading 21-6 with 5:40 left in the third quarter. Big kickoff by Napier, 7 yards deep. Though if you talk to their coaching staff, they said, we respect Colorado State coming in. And they also said, this team, the way they are made up, never looks ahead. They go to Carter, and Carter somehow finds a little bit of an opening. That 77-yard fumble return, the longest in Colorado State football history. White throwing, good catch right at the 28-yard line. good coverage on the play. 3rd and 2, movement, and White takes it. And it's left for the officials to sort out who moved first.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty.
After the walk-off, it will be a first down, and there they are, rock solid, and they have been the last couple of years. Right now, they have a tall order, down 21-6. Their only losses last year were to UCLA. They didn't play well against the Bruins, and they lost a 3-touchdown lead to Cal. White throwing to his tight end for a pickup of 7. Lamar Harris, the 265-pound junior from Tucson High School. 2nd and 3. Ball's on the ground again. That's the 2nd time they've had a poor exchange between the center and the quarterback, and Manny Ott remains the center. Arizona, 6 of 13. This is 3rd down and 4. Blitz coming, it was picked up, but the ball's batted away, and a good job by White to bat it down a 2nd time. Otherwise, that might have been picked off.
That was a smart play, and you can tell that Colorado State is feeling good right now. That's what you're taught to do as a defensive player. When you're rushing the passer, when you get in, the passer starts to throw, get your hands up in the air. And those good things happen. You make things happen. Now, Dan White, conversely, does a good job of thinking on the run and batting that ball down. Could have been an interception.
Garrett Sand batted it down. We'll see Peyton movement. And boy, the Rams were lucky to get back on side. Good punt, real good punt by Peyton. Greg Myers gets belted, he's still going. Well, I think every player, that was an equal opportunity return, because Greg Myers gave every player on the coverage unit an opportunity at hitting him once.
But that shows you the mentality of Greg Myers and the CSU football team. They are not going to give up. They're going to continue to scrape, to fight for every yard they can possibly get.
How big a stop was that by CSU defensively with 2:38 to go in the 3rd quarter? After going up 21-6, they turn Arizona away on their next possession.
You may look at that as extremely pivotal in this ball game when it's all said and done, because Arizona just doesn't have anything. They're not in the groove. They don't have any type of a sync going right now, and they have to do something. So all Colorado needs to do right now is hold on to the football and don't make any mistakes.
And Arizona defensively is known for producing errors by an offense. Straight ahead for about 1 or 2 is E.J. Watson. 2 receivers to the near side on 2nd and 9. Anthony Hill's going to lose a bunch. Chris Lopez stopped him, and that almost looked like a broken play. Rams 4 of 9 on 3rd down. They need 15. They need the 36-yard line. Pressure coming, slip screen, Paul Turner, and he's belted at the 24. Well defensed by Arizona. Tony Bowie read it. Matt McDougal will punt. Back at around his 33 is Richard Dice. 10 men on the line of scrimmage for the Cats. They've been known to block kicks. And this is a great punt. Dice moves up to the 37, making people miss, gets it to the 49. So terrific field position for Arizona. And Hisham El Mashtub is in at center. They said they would only play him if they absolutely needed him. I guess they feel like they do. This is Dice, knocked out of bounds after a pickup of 9. Misdirection, Carter, huge opening. To the 25-yard line before Brady Smith got him. They're starting to open up some big holes. 16 yards for Carter. Danny White changing the play at the line. Ball's loose again. And I think Carter got it back. Oh, man. Big break for the Wildcats. They'll lose 4 yards, but more importantly, they hang on to the football. And right now, the story is Colorado State trying to pull off a huge upset, leading 21-6 in the land of the Cats. We're back in Arizona along with Gil Bird. I'm Drew Goodman. Second and 13 at the 27-yard line. Here's Carter trying to find room, and he does for a couple. Big play here for Arizona. 3rd and 9, trailing 21-6. Blitz coming. White throwing high. He was looking for Jeff Scheisen. On 4 occasions tonight, they've moved the ball inside the 30-yard line of CSU. 3 of the times they've had to walk this gentleman out, Steve McLaughlin. The other time they turned it over and it produced 7 points for Colorado State. This will be a 42-yard field goal. He's had 2 over 40 tonight. 1 he missed from 62. This ball is down the middle again. He's been the offense for Arizona. Steve McLaughlin, who's a guitarist, plays in a rock band around town. They call themselves the Pet Fish. 21-9, CSU. Happy you're with us on Prime Sports Network. Just 3 field goals for Arizona. Myers watches this one go out of the end zone. The Rams have 3 touchdowns and lead it by a dozen. E.J. Watson, the single setback. Hill wants to throw. Complete, 1 foot in. Eric Olson, that's all you need in college football, so it's a pickup of 12. Couple of yards, that is all. Closed down very quickly, 71. Chuck Osborne will get up last. Hill sprinting out and throwing it away. And that's a smart play, saving the sack. Teddy Bruschi was trying to run him down. Okay, I stand corrected. Almost a high snap. Hill wants a bunch for Burkett, and he can't get it to him. Good coverage by Spencer Ray. He was not fooled. Matt McDougall now will punt to Spencer Ray. Good defensive series that time by Arizona. They should get decent field position. They're coming after him again. They don't get there, and it's a good punt. Ray kissed right away at the 22-yard line by Ballard. So with 13-12 to go in the 4th quarter, the score remains Colorado State 21, Arizona 9. Carter makes people miss again, and then Prentice Davis got him, but an advance of 7 yards. Carter bowls his way across the 40. Movement, and Mashtube snapped the ball, and that was smart.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 5.
UTEP will be in Fort Collins next week to take on CSU. 2nd and 5, they give to the fullback. And that works for about 10 to the 40-yard line. Jason Patterson, 1st and 10 at the plus 40. This is where Arizona has broken down in the past. Gary Taylor's the tailback. White wants to throw it. He's got Patterson again, and Patterson has about 5 yards. Kareem Ingram made the tackle. Taylor straight ahead, nothing doing. Taylor goes out, and Antoine Carter, the stud, back in there on 3rd down and 4. They need the 30. Toss sweep, Carter. He's not going to get there. He's 2 yards short.
You have to like what Colorado State is doing. They're not giving Arizona an inch. They're making them work for everything that they get, and that is a quality that the good, excellent football teams have.
Dick told me, he said, I have great respect for Colorado State for a number of reasons, and the first would be they're 5-0. They know how to win in the fourth quarter. We're in the fourth quarter. It's 4th and 2. White looks like he's changing the play. No way. A loss of a yard. CSU has turned away the Wildcats once again.
I'm telling you, if your fire isn't lit at home seeing this, your firewood is wet. It is wet. You've got to be excited about what we've just seen. And Colorado State coming up with a big play when they have to. When they have to, when they need it. And that has been the tale of the tape all night tonight.
Watson counter Trey. And he gets about a yard. That is all. Closed down by Chris Lopez, a senior outside backer. Arizona down 2 scores. 2 touchdowns. Blitz coming. It's picked up. Hill throws it. Illegal man downfield against Colorado State. The Rams 4 of 11 tonight on 3rd down. They need the 43-yard line. Blitz coming on the corner. Hill going deep. And he's behind his man, who I don't think ever saw the football. Low snap. Here they come. And McDougal will get away from it. And the ball is down at the 28-yard line. Now White goes out of the shotgun. Pressure coming. Throws it to his tight end, Harris, who's a load and has it to the 48-yard line. And White calls a timeout on 1st down. And Arizona has just 1 left. So with 8:50 to play in the 4th quarter, Colorado State continuing to lead the Wildcats 21-9 in Tucson. Now he gives to Carter. Carter's got big room. To the 28, a pickup of 20. He's got 204 now on 33 trips. Good protection. They swing it out in the flat. Oh, great move. Carter to the 10, perhaps the 9. 1st and goal just inside the 10. Toss sweep, Carter. Swivels his hips to the 6. Stuffed in the backfield, a loss is Kevin Schmidtke. Great penetration again by the Rams. Moran. It's 3rd and goal at the 7. They need touchdowns. They're down 12. Clock moving, 7:10, 7:09 to go in the ball game. End zone shot. Dice touchdown. It took Arizona 3 quarters and 8 minutes, but they finally get in the Colorado State end zone. McLaughlin will come on for the extra point. And he hammers it through, 21-16. So with 7:02 to play, Arizona is within 5. They have never led in the ball game. And the ball goes out of bounds, so the Rams will get outstanding field position. Watson, not much, 2 yards. And Arizona fortunate they got away with a face mask. This is where he generally excels, in the 4th quarter of tight ball games. Misdirection, Watson. Again, just a couple of yards, and now Arizona tries to tackle the football. They have thoughts of a national championship. Those thoughts will go down the drain if they can't stop Colorado State and produce a touchdown in the final 5:40. 3rd and 8. Big play. Blitz coming. Hill reads it and can't get Eric Olson. So Arizona on defense does their job.
Establish the run because the defense wasn't so condensed.
McDougal, kick it high to Ray, and it takes a CSU bounce, and they down it at the 26-yard line. White will go out of the shotgun, and he goes to Carter. And again, a good chunk of yardage, about 8. They go sweep, Carter. He's at the 45 and a first down. And in college football on first downs, the clock stops. It reads 4:40 left. Now time for White. Throwing to Carter. Strode wraps him up. A short gain, about 4. Blitz coming. Taylor, not much. About 2. He doesn't quite have the niftiness of Antoine Carter. Here's another one of those big plays. It's third down and a long 3. They go on the ground. Taylor will have the first down, maybe. He's very close. I mean, the spot is right on the sticks. This has been a terrific football game. One you'd expect from 2 top 25 teams. Colorado State, many of the people that follow them, including the several hundred that have made the trip to Tucson, wondered how good they were. Could they play with a team of the caliber, and it is a first down, of the caliber of Arizona? That question obviously has been answered. Now, can they hold on and pull the major upset? It would be, I think without question, the biggest win in the history of the school. Arizona obviously needs a touchdown. Rams show blitz, they come with it. Picked up nicely. Good coverage by Ray Jackson. He is to the left of White. He doesn't get it. Pressure coming, and do they give him a sack, or do they say he got rid of it? They're going to say he got rid of the football. Heads up play by White. Ingram got him. Third down and 10, and Colorado State calls a timeout with 2:38 to go, and we will do the same. 21-16, CSU trying to hang on. White's got pressure coming. Knocked away. Andre Strode made a great play. It's now 4th and 10.
Andre Strode did a splendid job, man-to-man coverage, being on his man and avoiding the pass interference call. He was draped all over the receiver, got his right arm in there and blocked that pass. So that was a good job.
Damon Terrell was the intended target. 4th and 10 with 2:34 to go. The game virtually rests on this snap.
He goes, Strode is inside the top hash. Receivers come in the middle. He does a good job of getting his arm in there and breaking up that pass.
Here we go. 2 receivers to the top. White throwing, knocked away, intercepted now. Drake Myers has it. He's dropped at the 34, but more importantly, CSU has the ball and the lead with 2:26 to go.
Oh, you've got to love CSU and what they've done this evening, time and time again. They've come in with the big play. Dan White is a crucial situation. He comes in, tries to force the ball in there. It's batted away, and Greg Myers, Mr. Opportunistic, comes up with the big play.
The all-wax free safety, recognized along with the 2 safeties for Arizona as one of the best in the country. E.J. Watson straight ahead. E.J. Watson, 2 hands on the football, got about 5 or 6. It's not over yet. Watson and Whistles blow this one dead before the snap, and you wonder if they took too much time.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Slot to the near side. Watson remains the lone back. 2nd and 10. And Hill rolls out. Hill's going to run it. And he stays in bounds after a pickup of about a yard. The clock is stopped with 1:36 to play. And unless Arizona called timeout, I don't know why the clock stopped.
Pat Myers done a good job all night on that rollout.
And obviously that is why the clock is stopped. The Wildcats have used their final timeout.
1:37.
Well, if you're Colorado State, do you risk putting it up?
I do. I go on a rollout. Pat Myers done a good job of trapping that defensive end inside and allowing Anthony Hill to have some time. You roll him out and give him the option to run or pass, and I think you get a first down.
I'm sure that is what the discussion is among David Lay, the offensive coordinator, and Sonny Lubick. 1:37 remains, as you just saw, Arizona without timeouts, and they trail by 5. This has been as advertised. And honestly, when we were talking earlier today, we didn't know if Colorado State could hang around for 4 quarters with Arizona.
No, our concern basically was that they would just dwindle away as time moved on, that Arizona, which is too big and too strong, would wear down the Rams, and it hasn't happened tonight.
Some of the crowd is filed out here, but it is not done. 3 receivers, trips to the near side on 3rd and 9. Hill in trouble. Now he steps up, keeps the football. Brewski gets him, but the clock keeps rolling. So Arizona on defense does their job. They will force CSU to punt the football. And I think some voters around the country will take notice of this game. Teams unfamiliar with CSU, people unfamiliar with CSU, a team that lacks football tradition. 10 men up. Low snap, McDougal gets it away. Pretty good punt. Ray calls for and makes the fair catch at the 36-yard line. So 48 seconds remain, and Arizona must move it 64 yards. Obviously, a field goal does them no good.
You talk about a pressurized situation, this is it.
Now, as a former defensive back, you hear fans complain so much when teams go into that soft prevent defense. What does CSU have to do defensively now?
CSU has to do what they've done all night. They play good, solid zone defenses. Just don't let anyone get deep. Play it deep to short.
4-man rush, double slot to both sides. White throws it, nearly intercepted downfield by Scott Lynch, the strong safety. Carter and Patterson in the backfield. They send Carter out. Caught down the middle. A pickup of 14 to midfield. Clock stops while they set the football. 37 seconds left. It's not Dice, it's Jeff Chison.
14 yards. First and 10 Arizona midfield.
Incomplete down the middle. Tried to get his tight end.
That was a good play. No pass interference. That was a nice play. The crowd here wants pass interference called. They want anything called right about now, but they won't get it. That was a good defensive play.
White, wide of 87, Chison, 3rd and 10, 25 seconds remaining. 3rd down and 10. Pressure coming. complete down the middle at the 25-yard line. Lovett was free, but White had to get rid of it because he got tattooed. It'll be 4th down and 10. This is the ball game, 4th and 10. White throwing, he's got a first down at the 31. No, he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. Cullen, Pluchet had it and lost it, and Colorado State, with 17 seconds left, has the football, and they have their biggest victory in school history within reach.
This team is something special. These young men have been dedicated to being the best, and you have to tip your hat to Coach Lubick and his staff. A head coach is only as good as his assistants, and he has assistants who are teachers and are very disciplined. And I'm going to tell you something, this is a huge win for the Colorado State football program, school in general.
They have been in a situation where they've gone to 2 bowl games in their history. 1948, they went to something called the Raisin Bowl, and 4 years ago, they won the Freedom Bowl against Pac-10 member Oregon. Other than that, they've never gone to the postseason. The Rams kneel it down. CSU has pulled a huge upset, maybe the biggest in college football this year. They have come to Tucson, Arizona, and knocked off the 6th-ranked Wildcats 21-16, and there was no fluke about it.
There wasn't. They came in and they controlled the line of scrimmage. They dominated this game from start to finish, and you have to love what the WAC has done against the Pac-10 in general this year.
They've won 6 of 8 games the WAC has against the Pac-10. And how about the play of senior quarterback Anthony Hill?
He has established himself as not just a glorified running back. He is truly a quarterback. He showed great arm strength tonight and the ability to make decisions on the run.
And there is a disappointed Dick Tomey. He knows he can still go to the Rose Bowl. He's unblemished in the Pac-10. But any hopes, any thoughts of being #1, as Sports Illustrated proclaimed them in the preseason, are all but lost. The 23rd-ranked Colorado State Rams have come south to Tucson and knocked off the 6th-ranked Wildcats.
You have to be excited for this program as a whole. These guys, the one thing that I've seen in Colorado State and their players, they believe in one another, and you hear it over and over again. These guys care about the guy next to them, and I think it shows in the way they play for each other and play for their coach.
I think of 2 things. Sonny Lubick told me last night privately, he said, Drew, I don't know how we're going to do. I think the kids believe they can win, but I don't know how we line up against Arizona. They're too physical, and they're too strong in the trenches. I hope we can hang in there, and he was being very honest. They've done a lot better than that. And I think of the conversation you and I had with Eric Olson before the game. He said, we're going to come down here and win.
And that's what they did.
The scoreboard does not lie. It is now history in Tucson, and the CSU Rams have defeated the 6th-ranked Arizona Wildcats 21-16. And the biggest play of the game had to be the sack by Garrett Sand when Arizona was driving on a blitz. The ball came free, and Sean Moran, who has done everything this year, scooped it up and sprinted 77 yards to give the Rams at that point a 21-6 lead.
That was a major turnaround in this football game. Because of that play, the momentum has shifted, because Arizona, remember, was on their way to a driving and scoring. And here you see the play once more. Oh, you just love to see defensive plays like this. Being a defensive player myself, you love to see it. Moran just gets up. But I'm excited about the way Colorado State hung in there, and they won this on defense. Their defense came and scored, and that's what made the difference tonight.
Arizona had the ballyhooed defense, and Colorado State felt they had a pretty good defense of their own, and they ended up with the superior defense on this day. 21-16, they've knocked off the Cats. We'll come back with some final thoughts. Well, that's it. But for our entire Prime Sports Network crew here in Tucson and my partner Gil Bird, well done, sir. I'm Drew Goodman. Again, the final score, Colorado State 21, Arizona 16. The Rams at 23, and the polls will move up.
All right, what a win it was for Sonny Lubick and those Colorado State Rams. They go on the road into Tucson against that Desert Swarm defense. They pull off the upset, and Colorado State gets the win 21-16. All right, let's talk about the second half, Coach, and let's go right to the play I think we all remember and everybody remembers about that 94 Arizona game was the Sean Moran 77-yard fumble return for the touchdown. Of course, it was Garrett Sand who got the penetration on that play. But give us what your perspective was on that particular play.
Well, as I recall, about that time of the game, I guess, were we still up a little bit that time?
So,
I think.
Right. You guys were up at the time 14-6, and that made it 21-6.
Okay. And then I remember they were kind of driving. They were probably down around the 30-yard line or something going in. And the coach are kind of thinking ahead a little bit. They score here and they go for two if they know now it's a 14-13 game and anything could happen. There was still enough time in the game. And I would go back to that bad thinking again. Here we're out playing and we're playing great. And they'll come up with a couple scores at the end. And this could be one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me as a coach, all of our coaching staff, and for Colorado State. But next thing I know is that I had a great few too, because they were probably, as I said, somewhere around the 30-yard line, or as I recall. And I didn't know this at the time, but we called the blitz, or Coach Kirk called the blitz, and Garrett Sand hits the A gap. I think it was the wrong place. They told me after. I never care about it. And as the quarterback got the ball back, he got hit right in the back, and the ball, you're thinking that they're going to call it back. There had to be a penalty there. And then all of a sudden I see Sean scoop that up, and Sean for as big and as he was, he had good speed for his size and that. And he was running down there, man. You're hard. As a coach, I'm looking, where's the flags? Where's this? Don't anybody clip. Don't do that. And at 21-6, still didn't feel comfortable after the score, but that was a great moment.
Yeah, you bet. And you guys were able to hold on to get the win into the fourth quarter. They kicked a field goal, scored a touchdown. All of a sudden, it's 21-16. But, well, your defense gets one final stop. It was an interception by Greg Myers. The pass got deflected by Ray Jackson right into Greg's hands, and it solidified the win. That was it. It was over. Tell me what your emotions were like when that game got sealed.
Well, you get so excited you don't know what to do. You're just so happy for the players, and you don't think of all of the things afterwards, the many years that this game, what that victory had done for Colorado State and our program. But you're just so excited. It's almost unbelievable. I look around, and Dave Maggers, who our offensive line coach, was in tears crying. He's been around coaching for a long time, and and to see the players, they were just jumping around excited. And we didn't have too far to walk to our locker room. We just go down some flight of stairs, and the locker room was kind of right under the stadium, and watching the players go in there. We did have a pretty good contingent of CSU fans at that game, as I remember, because we were going to our locker room. They jumped over the fence, and guys were hitting me on the back and pounding, and you're kind of enjoying that darn thing. And it was really a thing of something that, I guess we'll never forget how many. It's been 25 years since that point. Right. And it's a game, as you look back now, that went down, and, I think it kind of gave Colorado State some extremely vital national attention, and gave the players and the coaches confidence, and we just gained so much confidence. It gave our school, gave our fans something that they could be proud of, and that was it. But the other thing in that locker room after the game, I never seen so much excitement, but a couple people who were in there that game was Fum McGraw. He at that time, the Rockies just started their baseball season, and they had their training camp there in Tucson. We were staying at their hotel, and Fum was there. And of course, Kelly McGregor, president, was there, and Jerry McMorris. I never seen three people so happy. and so kind. And that, it's things like that. That any of us work for, coach for, is to bring a smile and to bring satisfaction to someone else. And that was it.
Yeah.
And this is probably the wrong time for this, but we studied their film all week going into that game. We didn't know if we could ever score.
Right.
Didn't think we could ever score because teams didn't score against them. For 2 years, 3 years, they've been a Desert Storm. But Dave Lay came up with a couple plays, and I wonder I think, I always used to kid him, but he came up to any way we can complete a pass. These guys is a bootleg. And darn, he threw 2 of them for 2 touchdowns in that game.
Right.
And that's what kept us in there besides. I hope I didn't get out of the way, but that goes back to things. But it was one of the, I guess it's a victory for all the players at that time and all the fans. I know time has since passed by, but I think of a victory like that, there's more than just that season. It kind of cements your way. It does as much for the team 20 years later as it did at that time.
Yeah, no question. I know a lot of Ram fans still look back to that 1994 game as one of the best all-time games, and it was the first time that a Colorado State team, and at that point, the 102-year history of the football program, the first time that they had ever gone on the road and beat a top 10 team, and to do it in the fashion that you guys did it in certainly was special. And Sonny, you think about it, it set up the rest of that 1994 season, and that will go down as one of the best all-time teams in Colorado State history. And then, of course, that set up the many years to come for you and your coaching staff, didn't it?
I think so. And then as I look back, as I knew you were going to be calling me today, I started to think, of course, I cannot remember every player unless I had the program in front of me. But I look back, that was a good football team. There were good players on it. They were, and I kind of hung along more with the defense and tried to help Larry out with some things in that. And he coached the linebackers, and I think I helped out a little bit in the secondary there. But there were good players. We had 2 pro players at defensive ends, and Sean and Brady.
Right.
But there are other players. It takes everybody to win the game. But Ray Jackson, he was the guy who always come up with the big play. But on the other corner was Andre Strode, who was as tough as anybody and make all the tackles. He'd make all the tough hits. Our safeties there. Greg Myers, what can you say about him being as good as anybody? And then there's 3 or 4 guys I mentioned that played in the NFL. And plus we had, and there a kid that had his ups and downs, a great athlete, and Scotty Lynch, who was in there. And I remember he almost had a chance for an interception to ice the game before Greg got his. It would have been a great diving catch, a shoestring he come across and almost had a pick. If he'd have had that. And then the other guy, then our offensive line, just as offensive linemen are always a bunch of nobodies. They were just good, tough kids. They were undersized, but they were tough and they were smart. And then Anthony Hill, of course, was the conductor and got things going.
Yep, no question about that. Well, Sonny, thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day. And I know it's always fun to take trips down memory lane with you, and in particular to do it with legendary games like that one was. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Brian, and congratulations to you, Ram, and all the great things you have done. I remember when I first started there, you were kind of working the sideline reporting. You were a great guy.
That's right.
You were always there asking me tough questions on the way off the field or on the field. But it's so proud for me to see what you have done. You are a special guy for CSU.
Well, I appreciate that, Coach. That means more than you'll ever know. Thank you very much.